You are now listening to the Two Shots Podcast, a part of the Shotgun Sports Network, with your host, Gary Fitzgerald. We are bringing you interviews from around the shotgun game and covering the sport from a different perspective, behind the scenes, beyond the shoot. And before you hear it at the club, you will hear it here first. If you want candid, unedited, unhinged, and truthful interviews, you are in the right place. Visit us online at twoshotspod.com and check us out on social media.
Thank you guys for listening to the Two Shots Podcast Christmas episode. On this episode, we talked to Liam Shoemaker and Gary Fitzgerald, also named as Gdub, given the perspective of the beginning youth shooter, often overlooked. So, Merry Christmas from everybody here at Two Shots Podcast and Shotgun Sports Network. Hey guys, Gary Fitzgerald, Two Shots Podcast. If you guys are actually following along on our social media page, and as we announce what guests we have, bear in mind that as screwed up as my mind works, it doesn't work in the same. It's not the order the guests are going to show up. We've done Dave and Nina before. We had some guests the other day that we still got to get approval from their bosses for. But we happen to be on a rainy day. Cat in the hat style, nothing else better to do. I took an opportunity to give us, once again, what we're trying to do for a theme, a different perspective from the sides you don't see that are involved with the shooting sports. And we were having breakfast this morning because we couldn't get to shoot, and I had two kids that's been shooting with us, been at the club here for a while, and we said, well, hell, let's just do a podcast, and poured them a couple hot chocolates. It's morning, so I've only drinking a Dr. Pepper. I already had the one morning beer, so, before somebody thinks we've gone too soft, we have with us today Liam Shoemaker. Hello, Liam.
Hello.
And Gdub, Gary William Fitzgerald III.
Hello.
So, guys, you've been fucking around this club for a while. You've been running pigeons and shit like that for us. This year, 2021, was a big year for both of you. This was your first year for NSCA competition, right?
Yes, correct.
All right. We all went to shoot. What was the first official NSCA multi-day tournament you guys went to?
U.S. Open.
You went to the U.S. Open, but what about you, Gdub? What shoot did you shoot in Chicago?
Oh, state.
At
shoot.
Northbrook.
Yes.
And Liam, you did too?
Yeah.
Was that before the U.S. Open or after?
That was after the U.S. Open.
That is correct. Because you and I shot the
28 gauge course.
28 gauge together, and Gdub was not present. But we all shot as a group at the Northbrook 2021 state shoot. What did you guys think of that?
I really liked it. Had a lot of fun. I've been there I've been there twice.
Okay. Anyway, Gdub, that wasn't the first time you were there either, right?
Right.
What events did both you guys shoot?
We both shot the 28 gauge event.
Shot the main
and
the 12 gauge.
Yeah, I shot the 12 gauge.
Bird 12 gauge. Yeah, that was right. And so before we get into that and start talking about that, when you guys are learning to shoot and everything, what was the hardest part for you guys to learn how to shoot or to start to learn to shoot? Because you guys are still learning. Mm-hmm. So what was the hardest part for you guys to learn? Liam, tell us about it.
Well, the hardest part for me is whenever I switched to left, it was harder for me to shoot because I've been shooting right my whole life.
That's right.
So I had to change to left, so that was kind of hard for me.
That's a big change, but at least we got that early in the game. Like I said, a lot of people try to work with kids, and eye dominance is a tough issue because gets misdiagnosed, I think, a lot. But we got you early. Gdub, what about you? You've been at this for a while. You've been pulling a trigger. But this is like your first year of actually having to shoot for score. What was one of the hardest things for you?
Yeah. The hardest thing for me, and still is kind of the hardest thing, is not checking my barrel when I'm about to shoot the target.
Isn't that's kind of a universal? We all want that feedback. And wouldn't you say the same thing, Liam? You have a tendency to check your end of your barrel when you're trying to be perfect.
Yes.
But and that's something that comes with trust. And I guess a lot of times it's frustrating for people. Well, you don't check your barrel. It's hard. It's hard because you guys have so many different target presentations, and we don't want to use the word sight picture, but there is a fair amount of sight picture there too. Maybe not as whatever it is you think there. You can't say sight picture, but then again you can't say just look at the target. Well, if you don't know, you just look at the target, and like I said, that's the hardest thing. One of the harder things is translate to you guys as beginner shooters is exactly where to put the fucking gun. And that's the tough thing. I mean, and if you see targets that you've never seen a lot of these birds before. These are, you got a guy that's been shooting for 10 or 20 years, and he has an idea that you should be so far in front of a target to make it break, and he kind of gets it done. But you guys have never seen that kind of type of stuff. But trying to think, what you guys are both shooting autos. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both shooting autos. Why did your parents make you shoot autos?
Over and under, one, it's like kicks harder, and also we're not built for that yet. It's also a heavier, and it's also, it's heavier. And you have to be stronger to hit.
Got to be stronger and move the gun. Liam, what do you shoot? You're not shooting a 12 gauge yet.
No, I'm shooting a 28.
Shooting a 28 gauge because of the gun is lighter and you can move the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, have you ever noticed from other kids shooting where their mom and dad put them into an over and under, not too much older than either than you? Have you ever noticed that, is there any issues you think they have from shooting that fixed breech gun?
I meant I've watched videos of people shooting over and under at like our age, and when they shoot, it kicks them harder, and it's also like they don't move the gun as well as you would with an auto.
Yeah, you shot Gdub's 12 gauge
at
Pigeons the other day. Did you think that thing rocked you more than your 28?
Yes.
Can you imagine what that'd be like sticking you in with a fixed breech gun and over and under?
Yes, I have shot my dad's gun before, so I know what the feeling is.
It's not pleasant, is it?
No. He had to be right behind me.
Yeah, that's right. But, and I will tell you, as a parent, parents want their kids to have the best. And it's trying to get this, we're doing this interview, it's kind of like, have some fun with these kids, but it's also trying to get some words out there to the parents to actually listen sometimes to their kids. And sometimes you got to learn when to listen to a professional coach. I was very apprehensive of moving Gdub to a 12 gauge just because of him getting rocked. And I did not want to start getting him hurt, because if you're getting hurt, it's not very fun when you're getting kicked, is it, guys?
No.
No.
Because then you don't want to shoot, and then there's no fun in shooting.
No, when you're sore and can't move a gun, that's a hard issue. So we're going a little bit further. You guys are both fortunate. You've got a gun club basically in your backyard. Gdub literally has a gun club in his backyard. You guys are around a fair amount of experienced shooters, and you get some fairly solid advice, I hope. You got a lot of bullshit to go along with it. But what is one of the things as a junior shooter, beginning shooter, sub-junior shooter, that people try to do? And do you feel that a lot of people single you out to give you advice at a club? Have you guys ever been around anybody giving you bad advice?
You usually give me advice, which is good advice, so not really.
Okay, of course, it's fortunate you guys are around a lot of knowledgeable shooters, but I think a lot of times junior shooters are given advice from the gun club expert, women and juniors are often a bad target for it. Have you ever had any bad advice given to you, or anybody that you didn't know try to help you that you had no idea who they were?
I don't think so.
Well, that's good. You're lucky. That's lucky on that one. What has been the hardest thing for you guys to learn about shooting? Besides looking at the end of the gun, what have you had trouble with?
To move with it.
To move
And
with it.
also be prepared for the other bird.
I see. Oh, you didn't know where your second shot's going? What about
Yeah.
you, Liam?
Basically exactly what he said. That's always been a struggle for me.
Is to stay with that target. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
And not stop my gun.
Yes, that's the thing.
Checking.
Is you can stop the gun right after you pull the trigger, because after that it doesn't matter, but you got to stay with that target to begin with. So let's go ahead to your first competition. You guys both shot the Illinois State shoot together. What were did you guys have any goals or any hopes of what was going to happen to that shoot?
My goal, and this is the same thing my dad said, try to at least kill one target each station. And as long as you get like maybe 15 or 14, that's fine, because there's 14 stations and you kill 14 or more targets, and that's kind of like an accomplishment for me.
That's right. That's a good goal. Gary, did you have any goals for that shoot?
For that shoot, my goal was to run at least one station. I wanted to run a station pretty bad, or at least hit all the birds in one target.
Well, that's good. I mean, those are goals. You have to have a goal when you're moving forward and you're taking it serious, or at what level. You have to have a goal, and you have to set, short-term goals. What would be a long-term goal for you guys? Something you want to accomplish down the road.
Mine would probably be kill both targets at the same time.
You mean clubhouse them? One
Yeah.
shot? Okay. But do you have any things you want to accomplish? Like, you want to have any wins, or do you want to have any, events you want to win? Do you want to be a sub-junior champ, or what's something you're wanting to do?
I want to be a sub-junior champ.
Okay. Where at? You want to be at the state level or national level, U.S. Open, or Illinois State Shoot Junior Champ, or?
Maybe maybe the national regional.
Oh, at a regional, that'd be badass. Gdub, what about you? What goals have you set? What do you want to accomplish long term?
I want to be a sub-junior champ at Illinois State Shoot.
You want to Illinois State Shoot? That's good. Anything else bigger than that? You want to bang something out of like a regional or something like that?
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, you gotta have goals. And like I said, what we're trying to do is show how the kids' minds work. Obviously, the guys are a little nervous, not used to talking, because most kids get talked at instead of asked questions. And but what we're sitting here today and trying to get you guys out there in front of everybody, that, hey man, these guys are just like us, and they're just as nervous and want it as bad, and there's a lot on your mind. So when you're up there shooting, and I remember as a kid when you either tie an adult and you end up in a shoot off, and you're a young kid like you guys, you're a little bit older, and everybody will always remark, hey, well, hell, of course, the little bastard shoots good. He's got nothing on his mind. But I call bullshit on that. I think that's an excuse, or excuse why a grown man who takes this shit serious got tied up with a kid, and then the kid beats him or whatever. But what's all going in your mind when you guys are up there on the station? And Gdub, probably take this one first. When you're out there in the station and you're getting ready to shoot, and this is a big shoot. I mean, hell, if it's not even a big shoot, it's just in the backyard. What's going through your mind? Are you nervous?
Yeah, I want to like win, and or like just hit the targets. Like, I don't feel pressured, but I really want to hit the targets.
Yeah, I mean, you guys want it. You guys want to shoot targets, and you're probably wanting to do that. You know, want to make your dad happy because I won't love you if you don't, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a big thing. What about you, Liam? I mean, when you're out there wanting to shoot, I mean, you said you have never shot. This is your first time at a tournament, and this is the first time you were, you know, at a certain shoot. Never seen the presentation before. What's going through your head?
Since there are a lot of strangers there and maybe shooting with me, I want to show them that I'm good at shooting.
Yeah, you want to prove that you're not just some kid, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure on a little kid. You know, and I think that's what people forget a lot of times. And you guys are out there, and you this is a big deal for you. I mean, you wouldn't be here. I mean, I think you both like it. You know, you both asked to go shoot, but I mean, you know, you don't want to discourage you. You don't want you to have a shit day and not hit anything, but you know, you guys are wanting it too. I mean, everybody wants to break the targets. That's the fucking point of the whole thing is to break targets. So, what's a good we asked that. What do you guys feel is the best part about shooting? Just in general, why do you shoot?
Competitive.
You're a competitive person. That's what it is for you.
Mm-hmm. I want to win.
You want to win. You want to win or show that you find out where you rank. Liam, what about you? What's the best part? Why do you like to go pull the trigger?
I enjoy doing it because it's one of my hobbies. I love to do it, and also I get to see some friends every time I shoot.
Well, you know everybody here.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's a big thing. That's an important thing. I think it's great that you're at 10 years old. Point that out because it is, when it all comes down to it, they're not going to take your birthday away if you don't shoot well. Your dog's still going to growl at you. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like we forget that. I mean, and even at 10 or at 60, you're probably there to see your buddies. You know, I've had some guys that are, you know, that talk about, well, no one's at a tournament just for the fun of it. But there is a fair amount of fun of going someplace. I mean, don't you think, GW? You know, what do you like about traveling with your dad?
You see new clubhouses, and you also see like different type of targets thrown.
Yeah,
you see different type of targets thrown, and like different landscapes at which the targets are.
Yeah, you get to see different terrain, but I mean, you know, do you like? I mean, my biggest thing was getting to see different countries. When I was a kid, it was like, man, I get to see different parts of the United States and stuff like that, and you see shit along their way. And of course, we always stop off when we're going something. And then you didn't go to Kansas with us, which, you know, obviously not much since Toto and Dorothy, but you know, it's still different. You know, we never saw Big Brutus. What did we do? We didn't do much of anything out there. It rained one day. What all did we do in Kansas, Liam? Ate breakfast, I know, one time. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, we did eat breakfast together. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's good. But what, obviously, and you don't want to focus on the worst and the best or the negatives and whatever, but obviously with any positive, there's a negative. What is the worst part, and this may change as you get older, what is the worst part about shooting? About being a junior shooter, trying to learn all the stuff that goes along with you being a kid. What do you not like about it?
Missing the birds.
Just the frustration for missing the birds?
Yeah, like you just like frustrated that you missed the bird, and like you kind of get discouraged a little bit sometimes. Like what's hard for me, like I get discouraged if I miss a bird sometimes.
That's right.
And then I'll do better than the second bird.
I understand it, and we'll come back to that here in a second. Liam, what's the hardest part, worst part, toughest part, downside of shooting for you?
Basically exactly what Gdub said.
Okay. Well, that's good. So, for you, I mean, when you miss a bird or you fail or whatever, how does that make you feel?
I'm like angry, sad, and like, oh my God. I feel so embarrassed.
See, here we go. And once again, by talking to you guys, you have said the same thing that every grown adult who's out here shooting feels too. So, this is maybe a little more serious than we normally are on Two Shots podcast, but in relation to the way we talk to kids, and this could be universal to the concurrent lady shooters, so on and so forth. You guys are feeling the same thing that I do. Your dad does. Derek, Zach, any of these guys feel. We don't like to miss. If we are competitive people, we don't like to fail. Now, the difference between a competitor and just a person who gets discouraged, a loser will quit. Right? Competitor keeps going. That's what a winner does. He will fail a lot. You will always fail more times than you can succeed in life. It's kind of cool that we're talking about this because maybe somebody will actually listen to this and say, oh shit, well, my attitude towards a kid will change. Okay? You guys are probably here, like I said, you want to do it for your dad too. You like being with me, Gdub. And Liam is my son. After about 20 guys ask you, is this Gdub?
Yes, 1 million people have asked me that.
Finally, you just said, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'm Gdub. We need to get you a shirt that says not Gdub. But that's interesting. I mean, it's really good that we're talking about this because you guys are getting out there, and maybe the adults that work with the kids and stuff like that will realize that you got the same fears and the same frustrations that we all do. And that's pretty much where we're at. We're all the same. It's just we're at different levels on this just quote unquote journey. That's cool. So basically, we've discarded the goals, the worst part, the best part. We talked about the hardest thing to do. We've done it actually twice. Talked about the advice from shooters, which thank God you guys are sheltered, because I can tell you when I was a little kid and I was away from my dad at a shoot, there's always be some bastard that rolled up on me that had no business giving advice, that would just throw stuff at you that wasn't good. Of course, we all shoot. We all want to get better. Next year coming up, what are some of your goals for next year? What are you guys going to do to get better next year?
I'm going to practice a little harder.
You're going to practice more. That's right, because I've never forced you to practice. Liam, what are you going to do next year?
I really want to practice more, try to get better at left-handed, because it's still a bit of a struggle for me.
Yeah, it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Barge went to left-handed too a few years ago, and he's still coming up through it.
Uh-huh.
But, I think next year we're all going to, and I didn't want to drill you, make you a lot of drills and then work on a lot of fundamentals this year. I wanted you to have some fun with it. But next year I think we're all going to do a little bit more work. Hopefully I can shoot a little bit more. Hopefully live, all our families settle down a little bit where we can keep going. We'll all go to the Illinois State shoot again. What else are we going to do next year? We got any shoots we want to go to? Oh, here, let's get back to a little bit more seriousness. Coming into the thing, you guys have shot a fair amount of disciplines at a young age. I don't think either of you guys have shot bunker, but you shot the disciplines. What's your favorite? You know what a discipline is, Liam? So a different type of shooting, like skeet, trap, sporting clays, box birds, column bear, halise. What is your favorite? What is your favorite discipline to shoot?
Box birds.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite discipline?
Box birds.
Why do you guys shoot box birds?
It's live birds. They fly different than targets. They actually, instead of a target going one way all the time, the pigeon can go one way and then go back the other way. What
do you like about it, Liam?
Same thing that he said, and also I enjoy killing them because they're ugly little birds.
That's good. Quick question: while we're on the subject of box birds, why do you think some guys won't shoot them? Why do you think some pros that national champions and stuff like that won't shoot them?
They're so used to shooting clay targets. They're so used to shooting clay targets going one way that they can't get used to a clay bird going one way and then rolling over and going the other way.
What do you think, Liam?
They might not want to spend a lot of money, and also they might not like it.
They might not like it.
Yeah,
It's not for everybody. Like everything,
Yeah.
and that's what we forget. Like I said, everything's not. It's not just because you like it. We all are into different things, and some people may just not like it, and you can't blame somebody if they don't like it. But okay, so you guys, and what's kind of cool about our club is you guys get exposed to a lot of different types of shooting, and a lot of folks have a lot of grown men that's been in this game for a long time have not ever shot box birds, column bear, Halise. And you both shoot pigeons pretty damn good. What is different from pigeon shooting than going to shooting clays?
You don't know what box it's gonna come out of. Like there's unlike clay targets where you know where it's gonna come out of, and you have 2 or 1 pre-throws, so you can get used to that. But with box birds, it's you get up there and you go. You have no clue what box it's going to come out of.
You got to let natural ability come on the box bird and go, right? Mm-hmm. Liam, what do you think? What do you find different from it? Because you cranked them the other day beautifully.
Like Gdub said earlier, pigeons, they can go one way and then turn around the other, but targets, they go one way.
A little different game, isn't it? A little different game. Yeah, you shot them good. Gdub, you shot like shit the other day, by the way.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Trying too hard. I shot good the day before, and I was trying too hard that day.
You beat a few grown men the other day in the main race, so.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Gdub? You had your hand up.
Oh, also, forgot.
What were you going to say?
I forgot.
You forgot it already?
Yeah.
He'll come back to it, folks. But anyway, so, Liam, do you have something you want to add?
Yes. This morning on our way here, me and my dad were talking about how I can get better at shooting. And one of the things I said, learn from your mistakes.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We all make mistakes. It's you set your goals. You know what your goals you want. You know where you want to get, but you got to figure out how to get there. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you guys both have pretty damn good equipment. I mean, you both are shooting good Beretta autos. You got good chokes. You're shooting good ammo. You both have Pilas. So we've gotten that bullshit out of the way. And the advice I can give you, or to any parent out there with their kids, after you get past the equipment issues, that's the easiest thing. And that's the advice I'll give you guys today. The equipment, the shit that you can spend money on and buy, it doesn't get you anywhere. You have to have the good tools there. You have to have the good equipment. But once you get over that bullshit, you need to move on. What we're going to start doing with both of you, and talk to your dad about this, is the next lesson. It's not the hardware that gets you where you need to go. It's the software. And we're going to start doing some lessons. We'll probably take you to see Wendell, or take you, Derek will work with you or whatever. But as advice to parents out there, don't get hung up on getting your kid the nicest over and under. Don't get hung up on all this shit. We got to start getting some lessons to you guys. And good fundamentals build shooters. Okay, so we've got at the top of the list, we all want a trophy. Now, trophy normally means that you are competent, good, qualified, whatever you want to say, that you're able to hit those targets you want. Now, you guys, I'm 43 and Gdub's 12 and you're 10. Things changed a long time ago where we had to worry about kids' self-esteem. Now we got a whole bunch of kids that have no skills, no humility, and no ability to take a loss. But they got amazing self-esteem because they were all given trophies. What do you guys, this one's going to start off on you, Liam. What do you guys think it's right in the world that we're growing up and that you get a trophy for just competing, just showing up?
No.
Why?
Because if you're just going to show up and then let's say you're in last place and you get a trophy. I don't think that's fair, because not getting like a trophy or anything else kind of makes you like, okay, I want to get better at this and try to get that. And also, getting a trophy is an accomplishment. It's not just for participating, it's for getting an accomplishment.
All right. Gdub, can you want to jump off on that topic too?
Yeah. You're not working for the thing. Like, the person in first place has worked, probably practiced way more than you and deserves it way more than you. And if you're in last place, like Liam said, why are you getting the same thing the first place person's getting?
That's right. That's communism. Yeah. Gdub, can I ask you a question? What's the only good communist?
A dead one.
There you go. So, as we're going through this one, and what you guys just said is accurate. That's how you build winners. And winners in life, you don't get the nice car or the money just for showing up. And it's not doing you guys any favor for giving these kids, or breaking up a tournament where everybody's a national champion, or there's 12 different national champions based on division and shit like that. Now, and this is kind of going, the shit normally rolls downhill, and kids are always getting told something and talked to, not like we're doing today where we're actually talking to you. They're always talked to, talked down to, and then you don't really ask kids' opinions. We have a mindset change in this world, and you guys are talking about getting good or getting better. And I'm trying to put this into words to make this sound accurate. So here's my question for you guys. You guys want to break targets. We get that shit. At what point do we throw targets? You guys want to have targets you can hit. But if you shoot easy targets that you can already hit, will you ever get better?
No.
No. Gdub, can you want to help on this one a little bit? If I'm throwing targets that the guy who's not working, the guy who's not taking lessons, or the kid, the woman, whatever they identify as, and they don't put any work in it, they haven't got a gun fit, will it help you become a better shot or reach your goals by shooting easy targets all the time?
No, because if you become good at one thing all the time and you don't go for another, like you have no goals. The only goal you have right there is to shoot like easy targets, which you can hit already. But if you do hard ones, then you like get better because it's out of your comfort zone stuff.
Yeah, you think that's you think that's not really the idea of the game of competition? If you're shooting stuff you can already hit, I mean, if you're getting a score, if you're just, are you here? Okay, and you guys have goals. This is going back to the point we're making about easier targets. Coming from your perspective, you guys are on this journey to become a really good shot. We hope you're going to be a good shot. That's the ultimate goal, is to be the best we possibly can be, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If we are moving down this path and we're always shooting easy targets, is it more important to shoot a score that makes you feel good, or are you here to shoot a score that wins? In your mind, what's better? Shooting a score that makes you feel good regardless of your placement, or shooting a score that wins regardless of the total? Gdub?
Probably shooting a score that makes you feel good.
You think that's the important part?
The important part's to learn.
The important part to learn. So if you're shooting a score that makes you feel good, and you still lose with that feel-good score, if you're there to compete, what's more important?
You there to compete.
You're there to compete. So you're trying to shoot, you're trying to win regardless of score.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. What about you?
Exactly what Gdub said.
So you think it's more of an accomplishment for you guys. What's more of an accomplishment, to win or just shoot a score that makes you
win? Because then you'll learn, because you want to do better. And it's good to set small goals along the way, but work until you get first.
What do you think?
Win.
Just win. I mean, that's where we're win regardless of score.
Yes.
You guys are kids. Adults are adults. And, for the most part, you think they're going to act like adults. What's the worst thing you've ever seen on a sporting clay course from an adult? You guys haven't been around a lot. But have you guys ever seen an adult lose his temper on a course?
Yeah, which I think is stupid. I think it's stupid if you lose your temper, and I've seen people lose their temper on a course because they shot a bad score. If you just lose your temper, then there's why lose your temper? There's no point. That's not going to help you do better in the next station.
Yeah.
It's going to not. And even losing your temper, it's not going to change what just happened. What happened is past. What's going to happen is future. Word.
What do you think, Liam? What is one of the most foolish things you've ever seen an adult do on a sporting clay course?
Complain about their score.
Yeah, complain about anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here it is, folks. This is coming from kids. Everybody wants to look at the kids out there and put them underneath the microscope of their behavior. Let's think about your behavior around the junior shooters. And when you're bitching and pissing and complaining and throwing a temper, guess what? These kids that are impressionable, I mean...
We notice it.
You guys notice it. You both notice it, don't you? And it looks foolish, doesn't it? When a grown man out there is getting upset over not hitting a clay target or bitching about something, there's no point. Right? I mean, it's silly, isn't it, Liam?
Yes.
Well, I mean, what it's just kind of funny. And if you're going to put a kid underneath a microscope and you're going to, we're all watching, so-and-so's kid's not behaved or so-and-so's kid did this, and you're out there throwing a piss fit in front of these kids or just being just a complainer, that's negative behavior. We shouldn't really teach kids that much. I mean, everybody's always critical on me. We actually had a few guys on social media, on Shotgun World and Instagram that were bitching because of my language around youth shooters. I mean, you guys both heard me cuss before.
Yes.
You have? Liam. But do you guys cuss?
No.
You don't cuss? You guys don't cuss, right?
No.
But have you ever seen your dad have you ever seen that your dad or ever seen me throw a tamper on a course because I missed a target?
Yes.
You see me miss? You throw me through a tamper target?
My tad though.
Your dad threw a tamper target?
No, what he does if he misses a pigeon or something, he unloads
He'll
his
call
gun.
himself.
Yeah. He unloads his gun, he pops it open, shells come out, grabs it, turns around, and says like the S word.
Well, that's not really getting mad. That's not throwing a fit. But
what he means by throwing a fit is like screaming or like throwing, because some people throw their guns down or like throw it back in the rack in frustration.
Yeah, you don't see us do that, right? But you've seen adults do that stuff before.
Yeah.
It's funny as shit, isn't it? I mean, if I see somebody throwing a fit, I know, well, he's not going to shoot good today, so. But no, that's great. I mean, but, getting us out here for the things. I mean, everybody's got these shooting programs and whatever for the kids. But I don't think in the 30 years I've been doing this, I've ever had anybody talk about from the kids' perspective. It's like, I'm telling you how we're going to shoot. I'm telling you what we're going to do, but nobody's ever asked you guys how you guys feel about it. And I think you guys have been, you guys both run Hillies and Pigeons for us. You guys have been around. Gdub's been in Las Vegas, so this kid's been exposed to some bullshit. But, it is a really funny thing. And like I said, trying to hit the topics here, and we've hit your goals. We've talked about what it's like to go up through the ranks and stuff like that. And, a long way to go. I mean, you guys may quit this. You may find something else to do. Maybe ride a motocross. You may be, crappie fishing in a few years. I'll never saddle Gdub with being a shooter all the time. I mean, if it's not fun for you, fuck it. We're done. Find something. But if we're going to do this shit, and I think your dad agrees the same way, because your dad is a damn good competitor, Liam. If we are going to do it, we are going to do it to the best we possibly can. We're not going to half-ass it. All right, let's talk about things and keep going. You both shoot Beretta autos.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your dream gun? You have any gun you wanted. Maybe you don't know the names of it, but do you eventually want a nice over and under?
Yeah.
You like a Beretta or Krieghoff or what?
Beretta.
You want a really nice Beretta over like a DT11, or you want to be
Yes.
fancier? You want to be fancier than that, like an SO5 with a engraving?
Maybe, probably just a DT11.
Just a DT11. Gdub, what do you want?
Crown grade.
You want a crown grade? Mm-hmm. Well, you're gonna have to knock me off before you get one of those. You think you'll end up shooting a Krieghoff?
Yeah, probably.
Why?
Because they're good guns, high quality.
High quality guns. All right. Is there anything you guys want? Trying to think. You guys both. I mean, you guys got everything you possibly can get. I mean, hell, you both got your own, buggies. You got your Yeti cooler. I mean, you're just a miniature. You're just a miniature regular shooter. You just need a. I don't know what the hell you need. Just need a few more excuses. Hey, let me ask you a question right now. You hear also. That's another thing we're talking about adults. We hear all of these excuses. Everybody's got an excuse. Now, throwing a temper tantrum just wrecks your shooting to begin with. But so do excuses. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're always looking for excuse, it's like this. I'm going down the interstate, and I'm looking for yellow cars. I'm probably going to find a lot of yellow cars. Now, if I'm going through a sporting clay course or anything, grocery store, whatever, if you're looking for an excuse, you're going to find it in life. So what are have you guys ever paid attention to some of the excuses you've heard before? What's one of the funniest excuses you've ever heard, Liam? You want to think about it and come back to it?
Yes.
Gdub, what's one of the craziest excuses you've ever heard?
The craziest excuse I've ever heard is he was shooting. I forgot his name, but he missed both. And then after he missed both, he turned around and said, "What?" Like the other person was talking to him.
Yeah, that's a famous video. I think everybody's seen that. Liam, have you heard any crazy excuses? You figured one out yet? It's okay. It's okay. We can think of something funny, but yeah, I think you've seen that video, Gdub. And anyway, trying to think what else we can talk about here real quick. Like I said, we've talked about excuses. We've talked about. Let me ask you a question. So you guys are both kids, and you probably have a more black and white view of right and wrong. What do you guys think about cheating? Why would a grown man cheat at clay targets? What do you think about that? Why would a grown man decide to cheat at this game?
If you cheat, you know what you're doing, and then maybe be like, if they set up a target, that's going to be easy for them and maybe hard for others.
Yeah.
It'd be cheating because they would be the ones winning.
Oh, you're talking about somebody set a course up to win for them, right? Is that what you're saying? I'm not quite understanding you.
Like, let's say somebody has, like, your course.
Yeah.
And then a new shooter comes here, jacks with your trap.
Oh, so they're changing the course to make it. I'm just talking about.
And you don't know it.
I understand. Or
Like changing the score.
We're talking about changing scores and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, not actually. I'm sure it's been done before, but no. What we're talking about is a grown man deciding to cheat. What do you think about that, Liam?
I think it would be very unfair.
But why would a grown man do that? It's lying, isn't it? It's dishonest, isn't it?
Yeah. So maybe so that they would win.
Yeah, well, they're cheating to win normally.
So don't sometimes if you win, don't you get like money or something?
Well, yeah, not much, but you get some.
Yeah. They might be doing that just for money, cheating for the money.
And at that point, it goes from lying to stealing, doesn't it?
Yes.
So if you're lying about what you did, plus you're stealing. Mm-hmm. So and that's pretty black and white. Gdub, real quick on this one, then we're probably going to wrap this up. What do you guys, Gdub, what do you think about grown men cheating?
It's wrong. I don't know. It's stupid to do. Like, it doesn't make you get better or anything. Like, you could actually put time into doing it and, like, actually feeling good about yourself when you're winning. But no, you just want to take the easy route and cheat and then make money. I mean, not really make money, but, like, have bragging rights, kind of, that you won, like, the Illinois State shoot. But if you cheat for that, then you know that you actually didn't win it, and then you don't feel good about yourself even when people are like going, "Oh, good job, you won."
There's a lot of things wrong with that person, isn't there? That somebody would actually willingly cheat that would do that. There's other parts of their lives that probably aren't. They're probably just not a good person after it comes down to it. But I mean, it's. I like to talk to you guys about this kind of stuff because it's a big black and white. It's more black and white at your age, and then people, get older and they bullshit themselves and stuff like that. But let me ask you a question: if you caught someone cheating, whether it be major championships, world championships, regionals, whatever, what would you do to them?
What are you doing? And if they said nothing, I'd walk up there, take the thing, see what they're doing, and then be like, "You're trying to cheat."
Then what would their penalty be? What would their punishment be?
Probably being eliminated from the whole entire game.
You just kick them out. We don't need them in the game anymore.
Yeah, because they'd probably try to cheat on other things then.
Oh, yeah, they would. Like I said, that's good. Gdub, what would you do? You catch somebody cheating, regardless of who they are or what level it was, what would their penalty be?
If it was my course, I would kick them out. I mean, they're not welcome in our course anymore.
Do you think they should be part of the game anymore?
No, I mean, it's stupid. Why cheat? It's not even a game at that point. It's just you cheating. There's no fun.
So what should they be kicked out for?
Life.
Life?
Yep.
Is your life?
They're not welcome to the course.
Do you think people should know who the cheaters are?
Yep.
Yep.
Like I said, that's right. You know who they are, right? That's good, boys.
So they're aware. So other courses are aware that they cheat and they're not welcome in other courses.
That's a good thing. All right, so we're still sitting here with Liam and Gdub, and pretty much hit some big topics. We went from you guys beginning to shoot, and we went into a serious topic of cheating. And it's you guys see it, everybody sees it. Kids are not idiots. They're aware of what's up. You guys pay attention. So, we're going around now. If a parent, I'm going to start with Gdub, and you can finish on this one. If a parent was going to get their kid into shooting, what would be the one piece of advice from a kid's perspective that you would give to that parent getting their kid involved with shooting?
Don't force them. Because if you force them, then they're going to get burnt out in shooting, just like a kid gets burnt out in baseball or any other sport. Don't force them to play that sport. They'll shoot when they want to shoot if they like the sport. If you force them, then they're just not going to want to shoot because then they feel like they have to shoot, and then they don't have fun. So later in life, they're not going to want to shoot. Okay,
good deal. Liam, what's the one thing that if you had a parent and they were talking to you from your perspective, to understand that means from your point of view, what would be the one piece of advice that you would give a parent wanting to get their kid involved in shooting?
Don't force them.
Yeah.
Like Gdub said, because then it would not be fun for them if you're forcing them to do something that they might not like.
That's right.
And then later on in life, they could be like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to shoot anymore. Or if parents force them, they would basically ruin their enjoyment of doing that.
That's right. You're never coming back to something that no longer becomes fun. Mm-hmm. Basically what you're saying.
Yes.
All right, boys. Well, I tell you what, I really appreciate this interview. This went better than I thought it was going to. We didn't normally do our normal shtick of, the reverent things we say. But, like I said, hopefully you guys out there that are listening to us will take to heart what these two boys are bringing into it and their perspectives and stuff like that. And that's important. We need to talk to everybody involved in the game because we forget a lot of bullshit that we went through for some of us that started early. I mean, you guys are both fortunate you're starting early. I mean, I did too, Derek. A lot of the guys that are still shooting, we started early and we grew up through the ranks. But, if you've got a kid, listen to what these guys are saying. If somebody wants to do another interview, want us to do some more in depth, just make us some comments on this, and we'll talk to these guys again and have a little bit more of their experiences. Because next year, I guarantee you guys are going to have a few different opinions after we go through another tournament season. But I thank you for your time, and let's go back to the farm and shoot some wobble trap or something. Thanks, Liam.
Welcome.
All right, thanks, Gdub.
Welcome.